Okay, I bought a bunch of material by the pound, and they look like this. So I'm like, okay, I have one piece like this, and I am going to attempt to make a quilt out of just this one fabric, the quilt top. Now, I've already used it for one quilt. Turned out beautiful, already gone. I fuzzy cutted it. But this is my goal, is to sew all of them like this, and quilt as you go. Now, you want to make sure that you have a tab right here and a tab down here, because if you don't, your block will end up like this, off. It's all off right here, and it's just not, it's not beautiful. It doesn't work too well, and you always want to make sure that you sew them the same way, not a different way, because if you sew them a different way, you cannot make a block out of it. So we are going to get busy, and we are going to cut diamonds. Now, the first cut that I am going to make on the diamond is fold it in half, get her even on both sides. I'll lay it over here level, and then I want 2 7/8. 2 7/8. Okay. Oh, I hate that. Alright. Then with my Easy 6, I'm going to lay it up here. I'm going to cut that off first, trash it, and then I'm going to cut 2 1/2. Now, we are going to take them to the sewing machine, and we are going to sew them. So, I'll meet you at the sewing machine. I have my piece over here to side, because I want to make sure that I sew them all the same identical way. So I'm going to lay me out a few of them so that I have them ready to go. And make sure that you don't sew back. You want the front to show if you have a different fabric. So we want to make sure we have a tab, or they call them ears, right here. It will always go where your needle is supposed to go. So if you turn it over like this on top of it, and you fold it or you lay it, wherever your dog ear sticks out, right in here is where your needle is going to go. So we are going to get busy and sew and get some of these done. Okay, we have the middle cut out. As we can tell, it's a great big old huge star. So we are going to continue to put them together. I think it's looking good. We'll have to make a template so we can do the quilt as we go thing. So we'll see you throughout. Okay, we are going to make a template for this block. So what we're going to do is we are going to lay this one level down here, if I can get it that way. Now, only on 2 sides we need to go out, and that's not going to give me enough room, so we're going to have to go like right here on this side. So we're going to lay this block out on this. We are going to go 1.5 inches over. Get it right. We're going to draw our line, and then we're going to come over here, and we're going to go 1.5 inches over. Okay, now we got to bring this one up to a tip with this one. I don't know if you can see me or not, but that's what I'm doing. I'm bringing it to a tip. Now on this one right here, we want to make it even, because we only need it on 2 sides. Okay. Alrighty. So now then we're going to take and we're going to cut out this diamond shape in there. Make sure I'm on my mat. We're going to cut it out after we open it. Well, I ain't even cutting it. Okay, there we go. We got that one done. Now let's cut this one out. There we go. Now we're going to cut this one out. Now we're going to do things different this time. And so let's turn it over and start whacking again. Gotta make sure I'm on my line there. I don't see it. There it is. Okay. Let's see if we can pull it out now. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to set this aside. Now this right here, all the way around, we are going to want to do 1.5 inches all the way around. Okay, 1.5 inches. Get it right, get it right. 1.5 inches. All the way around. I know I don't talk much when I'm doing stuff like this, but somebody has to concentrate on the tools. Okay. So now that we got that, now we need to cut this inner side out. So let's get busy, and we want just the inside of it cut out. I think I got it too dull of a blade. Really, I do. I should have grabbed another one. This is the same one I used on the other one. The other template that I made. But I done put this one in it, and we're going to go for it. We're going to use it. Alright, we're almost done with this bad baby. if you watched my other one, then you know how to go ahead and finish cutting it out. And so I'm going to call her quits right here. Well, we can see what happens with a dull blade. So, when we go to do this, now we're going to cut our fiber fill out in this. Because if you look, this is bigger than the hole. We are going to try a new way of doing it. So, I have it in brain. I can't put it on paper though. But this is the side we want our fiber fill. This is the side we want our backing. So I'm going to continue on and finish making some more blocks because we need a whole bunch of these. So we'll see you later on. Okay, this is the color I'm going to put the back. So all I'm going to do is line my,
she's getting better, ain't she?
yeah, I'm going to line up my board here, and then I'm going to cut it out. But this is the color that I am using. I still got a lot of sewing to do on the blocks, because this is going to be a big quilt, and it's going to be big enough to fit my bed. It's going to be big enough to fit a full-size bed. I just went to the store today. I don't go to Walmart, and I had to go to Walmart on my birthday to get a new blade, and this is what I get. I don't get a good blade. Okay, so here we are cutting this one out, and so now we know how we cut this out. And now I'll show you how to cut out the batting. Okay, we're going to cut our batting, and I'm not going to use the rotary cutter on it, because it doesn't want to do too good. And I'm going to use a marker. That didn't work too well. We want it 9 inches. And we're going to cut it 9 inches. And now we're going to get our scissors and whack her. And I'm going to cut the top of it all the way up. Okay, now we're going to go to the bottom, and I'm going to cut it. Nine inches. Well, where's my ending at? Okay, now we're going to lay this aside. Now, we will bring this out, and we'll line it back up. And then we're going to get our template. Well, it's not going to do it. Why won't it fold level now? Okay, I think I got it. There we go. Now we're going to get our template, and we're going to lay it on it. Go up. Now on this one, I don't mind using the cutter because it's smaller. Then we're just going to cut it to meet the little bitty one that is in the one that is inside. And we'll cut that. So, there we are with that. Okay, I'll show you how to put one together. I'll lay it out in just a second. Okay, this is the layout of it. We're going to have a green back. And I didn't cut it all the way through. Okay, then we're going to have our fiber fill and put it in the middle. Then we're going to have our block. Now, if you notice, our fiber fill is smaller this time. And this is a new way I'm trying it. And then this is going to fold over with another block, which it will go up here. And it will be laid like this. Okay, let's fix this one up here and you'll see what I'm talking about. Then when we do that, then we're going to fold this over 2 times that way and this way. So you see how it's going to look? And I'm going to do the whole bedspread this way. So that's a look at it before it gets done. But when we start going through these processes, I'll let you see it. Alrighty, I have added another color to the backing. And it's this pretty color. Now we're going to start putting them together. And we're going to go with that one first. And now we want to lay it like this, like we would the small ones. And we're going to line them up. Then we're going to put them together like this. And then I'm going to start off with 8 of them. So I'll meet you at the sewing machine. Okay, I got me 8 of them. And just like the smaller blocks, wherever your tab is, that's where you want to put your needle at. So, here we go. Now I'll meet you at the cutting table. Okay, as you see, we have our kitty cat here. It's a sewing kitty cat. So she's just having to check it out. She don't want me to do it. But look, we've got to do it. So now we got that done. Now we're going to open it up. And then we are going to turn it 1 time down. And then we're going to pin it. Are you telling me it's all okay? Are you? I hope so. And we're going to do that all the way down. And on this side too. Are you sleeping, Mommy? Are you sleeping, Mommy? You pretty little girl. Yeah. Okay. So I will meet you back at the sewing machine and I'll show you how we sew these down. Okay, we want to sew these down. So what we're going to do is we're going to start on one side. And for some reason, there we go. It didn't want to come to the point. We are going to Just start sewing her down. Get my pin cushion out here so I can take these pins out as we go. And we're going to do them all in a line. Alright, then when you get down here to the end, all we're going to do, lift our pressure foot, just turn it around, and we're going to go down the other side. Want to go off for some reason. So we're not going to let it. Okay, now I'll meet you back at the cutting mat so you can take a gander at it. Here is what it looks like. I hope you can see it pretty good. And it's turned out pretty good. It's what I want because we want to take it and put it in a row and sew them all in a row. But it'll be a few minutes before we get to that. Laid out on my bed. As you can tell, see how that one goes off that way. We want to add one more on that one. We want to add two on that one. We want to add one on that one, one on that one, and one on that one, and one on that one. We just add one to each one. So we are going to add another color. So we will let you see that one too. So we're going to add one to each one of those and then see what it looks like. So here we go with that. Okay, here is the different color. Now, the other color looks like this. Can you see the difference in them? This one's lighter than this one. And this one's lighter, so we're going down. So now, just like before, we're going to cut these out with our template. And always that one at the bottom. And then we're going to sew them onto that other part. So there's the new color. I can't wait to get this done. It's going to be pretty, pretty, pretty. Like all my quilts are pretty. So I will get this done and get it really good and started, and I'll show you when I get it back on the bed. Okay, we have this laid out again with another one on. Now I see we need to put one on this one on that one up there in the corner, and one right there. So we have 4 of them we need to add 1 to. And then when we do that, then I'll come back and we'll see what we got to do from there. I think I'm going to add another color. And this right here is it. It's really light against these other colors. See, it's how light it is against these colors and all. But I think I'm going to add this one. It'll give it a different look teetotally on the back. But I think that's what I'm going to do. So, I just figured I'd let you see it before I did it. So, let's go for it. Just going to lay it all out, but I kind of can't lay it all out. I have a sleeping dog. So, he gave me half the bed at least. So, this is what I'm going to do now. is right here I have a 4 in a row. Now I'm going to put 3 in a row. And what color's on the back of that one, I'm going to put on that one. What's on the back of that one, I'm going to put on that one. Then that one, and that one. And so forth. Then I'm going to start another color. Maybe, if I can find another color. Or I may start with I may just put a green on it. I'm not for sure. But we'll see what happens to it whenever I get to it. So, there is where I'm at now. Gone. Look what he has done. He's like the cat. He's getting on my blanket, and I can't get it done. I don't know. I'm going to have to wake him up. Righty. See how we got it now? Every one of the 4, or the 1, 2, 3, yeah, the 4, we have a 3. So this one's a 4, this one's a 3. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to sew all the 3s to the 4. And then after we get done with those, then we'll see what we have to do from there. It is looking better. It is getting out there. So we'll see what happens from there. Now, oh, let me explain something to you too. You sew it right like that, all the way down, and you're going to be missing a block. So don't be surprised if you do this. You will be missing a block because you're sewing, this one's a 4 and that one's a 3. So I just figured I'd put that in for a tidbit. Okay, we've got that one sewed, that corner sewed, that corner sewed, and that corner sewed. Now we got that one, and then that one right there. We have these right here are 3 and a 2. So now we're going to sew those together. And then after we get those 2 sewed together, then we have to start filling in like our hole right in here. So that's what we're going to work on next. And then I'll bring her back. Turn it backwards, just the 2 pieces. Now, this is the 3 and this is the 2. Now we need to sew 1 piece onto that one. And then it will bring it down. This is the corner right here. So we're going to sew that one on. And then we'll do the other one that has the 2 like the set up like this. We're going to do it the same identical way. Okay, now we have this hole that we're going to fill up. And I'm going to put the green and a white one. Alright, and then a green and a white one there. And then there in the middle, and then over there at the corner. Then down here, oh yeah, we got that one right there too. So we're going to sew all them 2s together. And then we'll come back and then we'll start sewing all of it together. To make it one great big old huge quilt. I think it's pretty. Let's just stand back and got them on. Now, the thing of it is now, I'm out of blocks. I got 1 left. So, I'm going to go ahead and put this together and all. If I could, I would put 1 here, 1 right here in the middle. But I've ran out of blocks. So what I'm going to do is whenever I trim these off, I'm going to put the trimmed ones where I need them. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew that one to this one to that one to that one, and so forth. And then I'm going to sew down the middle here, sew up the middle there, then sew the halves and put it all together. So next time when you see this quilt, I will have everything put together, but I will not have done the border. so we can figure out what to do with the rest of it going around. So I will see you then. I have to have the most craziest cat. I'm over there sewing on this thing, and she's coming over here and laying on it. I don't get it. She is a crazy cat. She does not even care about the sewing machine. It doesn't scare her a bit. And I've got stuck with needles. It's a crazy cat. Alright, here we go. No fear, cat. The cat has no fear. You know you're making this hard on me. I know you don't care. Do you see? She didn't move. Now that I've got the cat off and I'm looking at things, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this one off and put it over there. I'm just going to cut half of it off so that it will be easier for me to sew it later. And any of the other ones that is all around it. Because it'd be easier for me to sew it straight than it would to be kind of sew it this way, then this way. You know, I'm making it easier on me. So when I get all of it done, we'll put on the border. Okay, I have this part down here done all the way across. And now I need to sew those together. Now where I cut the ends off by not paying attention to what I'm doing, and now I'm just going to leave that like it is. I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to say, okay, this will work anyway. But this is going to be a weird looking quilt. But hey, your weird looking quilts sometimes turn out to look pretty good. And so far, I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. So now I need to sew those together, and those two right there together. And then I'm going to sew it straight across that away. And then we'll come back and we'll do the border. We got this sewn together. And believe you me, it wasn't that easy going through that little bitty arm sewing machine. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take any one of them that has the thing like this, and we're going to turn it over like that, all the way around. And the top, I'm going to take and put a binding all the way around, a border, all the way around it. But I think it looks neat. Even though, let me spread it out. Even though it comes to a point like that, I think it looks neat. And I think I'm going to like it, even though it didn't turn out straight. If I cut it off, it would be really a short blanket. But I like it the way it is. And when I get done, me and my old man will sleep under it. I may make it my main blanket on my bed now. Oh, we'll see what the dogs do to it too. Alright, we'll see it when it gets done. I have to say that this is the worst quilt I've ever made. It just didn't. It didn't. See? But that's okay. I'll use it for myself. Me and my dogs and my old man. But it is done. And I think the top is kind of funny looking. But, hey, maybe next time that I do a bigger quilt, it'll look better. I think my biggest problem is when I had to stop and do some other things, because I'm the type that has to do it and get it done. So let's turn this thing over and see what the back looks like. I have to say the colors looks pretty good around it. I like it. But, like I said, it didn't turn out. But, here's one of my boo-boos and all. But it'll be okay. It's just the thing.